As one-up heads north for the border this week, the Nitro National Series takes on the streets of Trois Rivieres for the next round of the one-up Nitro National Series calendar in 2023. Our only street race of the season in any of the three series sees the national cars go for 31 laps around this 1.5-mile street circuit in the middle of Quebec. It's going to be very interesting to see who can tame the field and who can get an advantage going forward for the rest of this race. And alongside me to bring you all the action once again is Duke Ansack once again. This is a great race for everybody involved, and I love seeing new places for races, even though we had one last year. It's something these guys don't do a lot often, so it always throws even the most experienced drivers a curveball.
Yeah, absolutely it does. And this is such a great racetrack that we have here. We saw a great show last year. And, it's just a lovely little place to race here. And it's a neat road course. There's going to be a lot of laps today because the laps are a little bit shorter than we typically see on a track with lefts and rights, so just over a minute long each lap. So we've got 31 laps today. It's going to be a lot of fun. That also means that there's going to be a little pit stop in there, so it's going to be getting the whole crew involved. It's going to be a lot of fun, and all these drivers are just going to go out there and have a great time, twisting and turning and full throttle in a lot of places and a lot of bends and bumps and lots of weight shifting in the cars. Man, oh man, this is going to be a great day. And a lot of the heavy hitters that we typically see on a track of this style, like Alex Frigette-Barube, he normally would start up front, top three maybe, but today he's starting all the way back in seventh, so he's going to have a little bit of work to do, and that's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Absolutely, with cars weaving their way between the walls here at this amazing circuit they've set up for us. This is going to be a lot of fun for all 42 drivers that take the green flag here today. As we can now bring you the full starting lineup for today's main event here in racing for today at the Nitro National Series. Nikki Martinez gets her first pole in who knows how long. First, I believe it's the first of her career in this series. Regardless, she's got Todd Hemler alongside. Both of those drivers looking for their maiden wins in Nitro National competition. Joshua Michaels, always a threat no matter where we go, starts third ahead of Suzuki. The rookie out of Monster Motorsports leads the charge for that team. Starting fourth ahead of the two Team Dayspring cars, we always talk about them. Goforth and DeLello, they start fifth and sixth today. Hopefully they can make some noise from there. And just a row further back, you got the two main title contenders for the regular season championship, that is. Alex Frigette-Barube ahead of Ryan Griffin by just the 1 point. It's going to be very interesting to see how they fare getting on against each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's going to be an interesting battle to watch throughout the race because they're going to be starting right there with each other in seventh and eighth. We'll see how well Alex is able to get up through the field, and maybe even Ryan Griffin as well getting up through the field. But yeah, there are points leaders right now. That's going to be fun to watch, but I'm very curious to see what Nikki Martinez can do from the pole position. I think that she has shown flashes of greatness this season. We haven't seen that 25 car performing like we used to know that it always would. So today, starting on the pole is a great opportunity to really lead a lot of laps and possibly even get a win.
So with that being said, we have 31 laps around the streets of Quebec, and we are ready to bring you the action for 31 laps. This is the one-up Nitro National Series in Canada for 1 week only, and the green flag is about to fall, so stay tuned because the action is about to pick up big time. As the field heads towards the start-finish line, Nikki Martinez, Todd Hemler on the front row. Can either of them get their first career wins? We're about to find out. The green flag is out, and we're underway for 31 laps. It looks like Martinez gets the run through the first corner, and she's easily going to clear Todd Hemler going into the second one. Oh, they almost squeezed Michaels out of room now.
Wow, yeah, and out of room is going to be something that we are talking about a lot today. No room anywhere on this racetrack. Just look at the walls. They're all right. I mean, there's no runoff anywhere. So these guys, yeah, still coming through that first corner a little bit tight. But yeah, this 25 car has jumped out to a major lead so far. Really great job.
You can see the bumps coming through that corner. These cars can handle them quite well, but it's just a lot bumpier than some of the more purpose-built tracks that we go to on the schedule. You see them make that flick through the corner, and they head down onto the short stretch here before making the turn, the slowest turn on the lap right here. But as Martinez rolls out of that corner, heading towards the chicane to complete the lap here in Quebec. And it looks like Martinez is going to get through cleanly. Everybody's made it through cleanly, and Martinez leads the first lap. Let's see what our margin is.
Yeah, looks good so far. Like it's going to be about a second, 1.3 seconds over that 97 car. That is a great gap to open up this race. No pressure. Get your bearings under you here. Remember how this track goes. No pressure from behind. Really good for Nicky Martinez in this 25 car to start off this race with such a big gap.
And remember, none of these drivers in the field today have won here. Our previous winner in this race was Ryan Caggiano, and he's enjoying this race from home in retirement for now. But right now, it's Martinez that's leading by a big margin over Todd Hemler, and you can see that 24 of Suzuki has actually cleared Michaels for third.
Yeah, great job from Suzuki so far in this race, gaining a position in the first couple of laps. That's always important. And now that 24 car is looking at that 97, thinking maybe could get around right here. So that's going to be good. And I've also noticed that Alex Frigette-Barube has fallen back to 8th place. This is just our points battle, while the 92 has gained 3 positions on the start, all the way up to 6th.
And as they run right now, it would be a 2-point swing, so it would be Ryan Griffin leading the championship by 1 point as it stands right now. But there's still plenty of racing left to go, and Nicky Martinez is turning this race quickly into a one-person show. She's got a 2.2 second lead after only 2 laps in this race.
Yeah, and that's just having a clear track and no pressure, just able to remember this track and remember what happened in practice and qualifying, hit your marks, smooth, calm, collected, and just has allowed her to really drive away from everybody right here to start this race. A great start for the 25 car.
Yeah, and it looks like she's just gaining more and more time with each passing lap, weaving her way between the barriers here. This is a fantastic place to come see a race. It really is. And look at these stands. They're packed full of people to see these Nitro National cars take to the streets and show them what they can really do. Here's Ryan Griffin. He'll be the first to admit road courses are not his specialty. He hates them with a passion almost, but he's doing a good job. This would be his best career road course finish if he can finish there. Currently hanging on to a spot just outside the top 5.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, we've been talking about how Ryan Griffin does not really like road courses all season in all these road course races that we've had. And to be honest, this 92 car has never really been so awful at road courses this year. It's been kind of average. Obviously he's not running up front like he normally would be on an oval that we see so often on the schedule, but he hasn't been terrible. And right now the 2-point swing would put him in the lead of the championship after being in 2nd place going into the race. So hey, that's got to be a good day for the 92 if he can hold on to it.
Yeah, he finished outside the top 20 at Road Atlanta, finished top 10 at Sequoia Hills, just inside the top 15 at Provincetown. It's been kind of all over the place, but he's doing a good job here, keeping it inside the top 10. And there is Alex Frigette-Barube, who, as of right now, 1 point behind that 92 in the championship. So Alex is going to have to get a move on or try a different strategy to get on pace with the 92 at the moment. But as we cross the line to complete lap number 4, Martinez has the lead, and it's almost 4 seconds already.
Yeah, somebody's going to have to do something. I don't know. Oh, we've got a lapper in front of our leader right now.
That's Aiden Clare in the 00. He looks like he's backed it into the wall somewhere, and he may have made a pit stop to assess the damage on that Toyota Supra. So he is on the very tail end of the lead lap right now, in 42nd. He did good to stay in front of the 25 of Martinez, but now Martinez is going to have to deal with this guy for, I believe, the rest of the day.
Yeah, probably, and I'll tell you what, it is tough to pass here, and I assume that the 00 has taken tires on that pit stop, so definitely a slower car right now, especially with the damage. Clean air is helping Claire, but yeah, Nicky Martinez now stuck behind the lapper, so we'll see if this impacts how far ahead she is of 2nd place. But she's going to have to get a move on past this 00 if she wants to keep extending that lead at the same level she was. We'll see right here as they cross the line. We'll get an interval, and it has not changed as much. She was gaining a little bit less than a second a lap prior to that lap, but now it's only gone up about a tenth. So, yeah, this is an interesting wrinkle that has been thrown in this race right now with Aiden Clare out in front of the leader.
Although, with Nicky Martinez fastest lap being a full 9/10 of a second faster than anybody else on the racetrack, I think she's gonna do plenty fine dealing with this 00. But still early on, we're only just now cycling through lap 6, and yeah, Aiden Clare is doing a good job holding off the 25, which I don't think Martinez was anticipating this being behind another car today, but so far she's handling it quite well.
Well, I'll tell you what, to spin this positively for Nicky Martinez fans out there, this could be a good opportunity for this 25 car to adjust during the pit stop to being in traffic, just in case. You know, a lot of the time when you have a car that has been running out front the whole day and you make that pit stop and you might have to spend a couple laps in traffic, or possibly you'll even lose the lead in the pits, you know, you might not know what your car is going to do behind other cars. And right now, Nicky Martinez is definitely able to figure it out, what that car is going to do in dirty air, because that 00 is putting a lot of it out just in front of her. So that is a positive spin on this situation for Nicky Martinez fans out there. And I'll tell you what, the lead is only growing. So
yeah, she gained 7/10 on that last lap, even while behind that 00. So doing a fantastic job. Todd Hemmler is still doing a good job in second. This would be a career best finish for him. I'm sure he would have been hoping to get by Martinez at the start. That clearly didn't happen. But still doing a good job, albeit almost 5 seconds back. He's not even on the same straightaway now as Nicky Martinez, making his way through that hairpin now as Martinez slows for the chicane. But he's doing a good job keeping the 24 back there. The 18's always lurking. And Zachary DeLello, again, making his way up into the top 5. So no one's out of this race yet.
No, absolutely not. But, you know, we haven't seen a lot of position adjustments in the top 10 so far in this race, which is fine, you know. And look at this group. You know, the 97 is by no means holding anybody up. But nobody has really separated themselves other than Nicky Martinez in this race. So there's definitely opportunity for a gain in some pit strategy, gain if you could find a little bit of speed on this track somewhere that nobody else is going, especially in this group. So this is far from over for all of these drivers in the top 10 right now. And especially this 97 car is going to have to continue defending and continue running great solid laps. And now sort of in clean air is the 97. So plenty of opportunity there to just keep it smooth, keep it steady, and stay ahead of everybody else.
And you can see some of those drivers did post faster lap times that last time around. They're getting closer to Nicky Martinez, although she's still half a second clear of anybody else on the timing sheets. So Martinez just putting on a clinic today, and with Todd Hemmler now 5 and change seconds off the lead, and with pit stops not quite close to them yet, but we're getting there. It's going to be very interesting to see. We expect this to be a one-stop race. Can anybody do anything there to stop the 25 at this point?
Yeah, well, think about this pit stop just for a moment here. You know, typically if you're going to gain some time on a pit stop, you'll gain maybe a couple seconds in the pits just with your the in-lap, your entry into the pit lane, how fast you're able to slow down, if that makes any sense, and then, of course, how fast your crew is in the pits. But Nicky Martinez is driving away at a rate where it might not matter how fast the 97 is, even if the 97's crew is faster than Nicky Martinez. It's just going to be too much to overcome in one pit stop. And I'll tell you what, Aiden Clare in the 00 has been doing a fantastic job of not impeding this race as a lapper in front of Nicky Martinez, just setting some great lap times, and is also pulling away from everybody else at the same rate that the 25 car is right now. So that 00, no slouch out there, just ahead of the leader.
And the 97 just lost another half a second on that lap. So Martinez now with an almost 6-second lead in just 9 laps. That is very impressive. These races, they can sometimes become blowouts, but I don't know if anyone was expecting this 25 machine to put on such a dominating performance, because we haven't seen this out of this car for really her whole career. Even that superstar win she got all that time ago at Charlotte was a bit of a come from behind. So we haven't seen this before, but man, is it good to see after so long.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is something that a long time coming for this 25 car and Nicky Martinez behind the wheel. And I kind of mentioned in the pre-race that I was curious to see what Nicky Martinez could do this season, starting on the pole. And obviously this is a pretty impressive showing so far in this race, starting on the pole, driving away immediately, not losing any time and not spending any time waiting around. I mean, it was immediately through turn one, started driving away, was a second and a half ahead of everybody after the first lap. And she has not slowed down yet. So definitely a great performance from this team. Now, you can't botch your pit stop. You're getting farther and farther away from everybody, so you're getting a little bit more comfortable as far as your wiggle room for that pit stop time, but you can't botch it. You can't lose a wheel. You can't come into the pits and hit the wall. You can't do any of that today because you still are in that range where you don't have a ton of time to lose. So Nicky Martinez doing a great job so far, and we'll see how it continues throughout the day.
How about a little redemption round for Jack Boswell? We saw him back there hanging onto a spot I believe, just outside the top 15. Last of his teammates, but he's doing a good job after that really rough outing he had last time out. He's doing a nice job recovering from a misfortune over there. And it's been highs and lows for that team. A win one week, a last place finish the next week, and now kind of middle of the road here. Just very interesting to see that team progress. But another point to make about Nicky Martinez, she doesn't have a ride next year. That King's Motorsports team closing its doors at the end of the year, so this could be also an audition for a few teams who maybe were a bit hesitant to look at this driver, but now they got to be taking a look.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It definitely a lot of people's eyes opened watching this race and seeing Nicky Martinez do such a great job out front. Just driving away from everybody right now. And this isn't so surprising. We've seen flashes of greatness from this car and this driver. We've seen a Superstar Series win in Nicky Martinez's career, and
don't forget, this is a King's Motorsports car as well. Yeah, they're always good.
So it's something that isn't exactly out of the ordinary, but definitely this is the best performance we've seen out of this 25 car so far. And it's a breath of fresh air so far for probably this whole team, watching this car do really well and just absolutely smoke everybody today. I mean, so far it's going to be more than 7 seconds ahead. We'll see right here. 7.5 seconds ahead after 13 laps. That is absolutely astonishing. Nobody else has been able to put much of a gap on anybody in this race. So yeah, Nicky Martinez just has everybody's number right now.
And she entered this race 14th in the points, well out of the playoff picture, with only 2 top 10s this season. So 2 top 10s in 10 races. Not a great start, but especially when you're driving for a team as prestiged as King's Motorsports. But Martinez doing a great job to rectify the situation here. Doing a very nice job, in fact. Like you said, 7.5 seconds clear of Todd Hemler, who's doing a great job hanging on to second spot. But I think that's going to be a battle for the rest of the race, is the battle for second, because this 25 has checked out. And barring a major catastrophe on her pit stop, I don't think anything's going to stop her.
Yeah, definitely. And something else that I'm a little bit shocked about with this is that she's not gotten by Aiden Clare yet. I really thought, with the speed that Nicky Martinez has right now, that 00 would be left in the dust by now. But hanging on out front, in a couple of the Toyotas right here. But yeah, it's just a really impressive performance from both of those vehicles that are leading the way right now.
Yeah, Todd Hemler is just doing a nice job hanging on. He might be 8 seconds off the lead. He probably can't see the 25 anymore. But he might realize that this is a fight for second place. But he's actually gapping third place Suzuki by about a second himself. So nice running from this 97 team, who we've seen brilliance from this team before, with Jack Boswell winning, of course, and with Shantley Daniel posting a few good runs. But Todd Hemler is doing a great job himself, and this could be a great day in the making for him as well.
Definitely. Yeah, and I think that this 25 car is getting ever so closer to that 00. We'll see next time we see them. But yeah, this Yami Suzuki has been doing a great job this whole season, and so far this is a great run for that 24 car. Looking really good in third place. Obviously gained that position early in the race on that first lap, but yeah, so far so good for the 24 as well, running in third. That is a very solid run so far through about halfway in this race.
It would be a career best for all three of these drivers in the top three if they were to finish in those positions. It's still we're just about to hit halfway in this race, so there's still a lot that can happen here in Quebec, but there's still a lot to happen. I just said that. But Nicky Martinez doing a fantastic job holding the lead. It's 8.2 seconds. Martinez just holding a steady wheel. Just if you might be using Aiden Clare as a reference point, because he's clearly able to keep in front of her. So might not hurt to stay behind the 00 at least for a while.
Yeah, well, so far it hasn't hurt at all. The 25 to stay behind the 00. In fact, it's been a big help. So, yeah, this is very interesting to see that the 25 has not gotten by the 00. I'm just shocked by that, especially because of how fast both of those cars are pulling away from everybody right now. It must, I mean, the 00 has slightly newer tires, but it really was pretty early in the race for that pit stop. So
we don't even know he took tires on that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We can't even confirm that. So I don't know. That's very fascinating to see. It kind of begs the question. The 00 in this race started all the way back in 31st, and boy, if Aiden Clare had started up front, who knows what kind of battle we'd have for the lead right now. That would be something very impressive.
Yep, and we're officially halfway through this race now, but we're halfway through lap 16. That is the halfway point. And Martinez with an 8.5-second lead. Truly spectacular at this point in time. As they make this flick through the corner here, Hemler, then Suzuki. But we're still waiting on those pit stops. They could come at any point. Now, they're plenty good to make it the rest of the way now on fuel. So anytime these guys want to, they could pit, maybe get an undercut off, and maybe, just maybe, gain a few spots in the process.
Yeah, and this is this pit road entry is not a gimme. This is going to be something that these guys are really going to have to. Hopefully, they all worked on it during practice. That's kind of the thing is whenever you have a unique pit entry like we have here, you definitely want to run through that a couple times during practice. Hopefully, they did it at full speed when they were coming back in from a run right there, and then of course during qualifying it probably happened as well. But yeah, hopefully they all got their practice in, because if you are not sure what to expect going into that pit road, you might end up paying for it in a big way. So this is going to be fascinating to see who's able to make it happen, who might screw it up a little bit, and then of course what strategies everybody's going to have, because now the undercut is open. If you were to be the first one to pit, you might be able to get a lap or two on some fresher tires. Who knows how much of an advantage you'll actually get, but yeah, it'll be a lot of fun to see what everybody decides to do.
Yeah, they've all passed the pit entry at this point, so they're not ready yet. I think they still have some life in these tires, maybe, to make something happen of it. But crossing the line now, and it's 9.5 seconds between Martinez and Hemler. This is gonna be this might be the biggest margin of victory we've had all season, perhaps, between Martinez and Hemler, if it stays that way, of course. We're not saying it's a sure thing, but it's getting more like that every lap.
Yep. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I'm just thinking about this pit strategy. If you're running back maybe 7th, 8th, 9th on back, you might want to think about making a pit stop pretty early here, just to get yourself on a different strategy. See if you can maybe spook some people, maybe throw them off, get them off onto a different strategy than your own. I don't know, but obviously Nicky Martinez is going to stay out here as long as she wants. I mean, it does not matter for that 25 car right now. But all these other people, it's pretty close battles on this
Oh, we got
track. Oh, and we've
takers.
got some takers.
And it's the championship pair, Ryan Griffin and Alex Vergepperud. They are the first two to hit pit road, along with Shantley Daniel, Keon Daly. It looks like a split decision on pit road. The top five stayed out, but sixth place Ryan Griffin's the first one to pit here.
Yeah, so I wonder if the 3 car, if they had a little bit of a plan to just pit with Ryan Griffin no matter what, see what you can do, pitting just ahead of Ryan Griffin right here because of the qualifying positions and the strategy there. So we'll see. It looks like that 3 is a little bit behind on the pit stop. The 92 likely going to leave and get ahead of the 3 car. Ooh, by a lot. Yeah, 3 car is even... Oh, it will get out ahead of the 41. So here comes the 92 right now, coming out of the pit stall. Out of the pit lane, I should say, and everybody else coming out. So relatively clean pit road exit. Jack Boswell on the inside of the 7.
Yeah, I think Boswell actually pitted a lap earlier than that. And it looks like we've got a couple of guys still on pit road. James Ellison, Cam Stevenson, they may have issues on their stops.
Oh, and Aiden Clare was just having a pit stop, it looked like. So.
Yep, and Zachary DeLello's in now, too.
Yeah, so this is okay. So we're kind of in the middle of it now. Looks like Cody Goforth has stayed out. That team is split. Team Dayspring has split their cars on different strategies. So we'll see.
Henry Thomas also in.
Yeah, critically, that 25 still out on the track. We've not seen that car make a pit stop yet. Just waiting for the chaos to go away. You don't want to pit into a bad situation. So very good for the 25. Obviously, clear track ahead still. Relatively clear track. So.
Although that 76 is on fresh tires, so we'll maybe if Kazakov gets a move on here, he could pass this 25 who's on worn tires. Of course, that driver, the Kyrgyzstan native, making his one-up debut, and that 76 team's first start since Daytona. So mighty impressive from that group to get here, make this race, and Martinez still staying out there.
Wow. Very fascinating strategy here. I would say I'm not actually completely sure why. I mean, maybe she just knows that.
But Hemler's staying out too. In fact, the entire top 4 is staying out.
Wow. Very interesting here. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe they're going to try to take less fuel on their pit stop and shorten that stop up a little bit. I'm just not sure. I kind of would rather have been one of the other cars that pitted. I'm liking that strategy of coming in early. Of course, I could be proven wrong. I have been before, but yeah, this is a interesting thing. So here's the number 6 ahead of the 92.
Yeah, Mahendra's the last car on the old tires. Ryan Griffin is directly behind him. Griffin actually jumped a bunch of people in the pit lane. He jumped DeLello by doing that.
Yeah, see, now that's what I'm saying. That strategy of pitting early might have just been pretty good. That first group of cars that pit, they had a clear road coming out of the pits to set a fast lap on their fresh tires. I mean, yeah, that might have been the way to go. Nicky Martinez has got to pit right here in traffic now, losing time. I'm just not sure about this strategy right now. It's very interesting.
The thing though is Todd. I don't think Todd Hemler is going to come either. No, they're
Todd Hemler's not in traffic. So right now, clear track, I think this might be okay, but Nicky Martinez in traffic, I can't imagine that 25 isn't losing time. And here's Alex Vergepperud on driver's left of Zach DeLello in the 03, but that's going to be the outside right there until they go to this corner. Man, too wide through here. Haven't seen that all day. This is crazy.
But Ryan Griffin did clear Rasha Mahendra. That's a critical pass to make in their battles.
Almost clear, but there's going to be a right left just far enough ahead.
Yeah, DeLello made a deep dive as well, and I think Alex rode the curb, and that might have cost him a little bit.
Yeah, that was just not a great
cross.
Wow, there was almost contact.
And that was almost a crossover too, but I think DeLello saw that one coming.
Yes. Look at this traffic the 25 is in.
Now she's coming in. About 5 laps later than Ryan Griffin did. It'll be very interesting to see what the margins are between those two. Because I'm pretty sure Ryan Griffin's going to move up into second place at this rate. Because here comes Hemler, Suzuki, and Michaels. Looks like everybody who stayed out is now coming in.
Yeah, so now it's time to watch what those cars who have already pitted, where they end up out on the track. There's Aiden Clare.
Yeah, it looks like Stevenson and Ellison have come back on the track. They're just both a lap down now.
Okay, so those cars. Here's Allison Liara.
Nathan
Okay.
Meyer also pitting. So here's Ryan Griffin. He's the first guy on the fresh tires. Let's see what happens here. Everybody's cycling through, making their way.
Bree is trying to make a move right now as well. It looks like it's going to be
well, the 25's long gone, but yeah, Ryan Griffin just jumped all of them.
That is absolutely incredible, and so has Alex Vergeperube.
And Todd Hemler, I think, clipped the pit wall on the exit, so he's going to lose a couple of spots doing that.
This is an absolute traffic jam right here. Coming out of the pit lane, we've got a huge mixture of cars. There's a bunch of side-by-side action right now, and oh my gosh, people making moves. And Todd Hemler is getting put through the ringer right here with a little bit of damage, exiting the pits. Boy, oh boy, but the 92 to have jumped all the way up into second place, the 3 car up into third place. What a move from the crew chiefs of those teams, as well as Zachary DeLello in the 03. This has been an incredible change of their position and a great strategy call to pit first right there. I can't believe that worked out as well as it did. They just had a bunch of laps on their tires, on their fresh tires, while everybody else is struggling on their old tires. That really, I mean, it even ate into Nicky Martinez's lead. It was up to about 9 seconds when the pit stop started, and now it's down to 7. So of course she's got fresher tires now than everybody else, but boy, oh boy. Oh, it's down to 6 seconds at the line. So man,
yeah,
that was
of course Martinez was on her out lap there, so
that's true. That is true, on the cold tires. So
yeah, and one thing to note, I'm not sure if Alex Vergeperube did the right thing in sticking with Ryan Griffin, because now that they're second and third, the gap between them would be 4 points, because second and third pays more points than the lower positions in the top 10.
Well, think about how if that 3 car had stayed out any longer, just losing positions. I mean, that would have
been
I think that one.
I would have been the first one on pit road if I was that 3 car. But hindsight's everything.
Yeah, definitely you wanted to be the first one on the pit lane in this circumstance. Of course, they didn't want to pit too early. I think that there was about 4 laps that I kind of was thinking that 3 cars should come into pit. But hey, that's not the way that it worked out, and that's okay. So sitting in third place, that's a great result on the day for Alex Vergeperube, and then an even better result for Ryan Griffin in second right now, and especially from their starting positions at the, in 7th and 8th. That is just stunning in the pit stop cycle to get that much time on the whole field.
And how about these other guys? Shantley Daniels running in the top 5 now. Keon Daly running just outside it in 6th. Henry Thomas. Todd Hemler is the big loser in all this. He slipped to 8th place on those pit stops. It might have been a combination of staying out too long and hitting the wall on the exit, but he's lost 6 spots on the pit stops. And Yami Suzuki's fallen back to 9th. Joshua Michaels now not even in the top 15 as a result of all that.
Yeah, just some major swings with that strategy. I mean, when we're looking back on the strategy, we can kind of see exactly what happened there, but it was a big time guess about how this was going to work out for everybody. And, I was thinking that definitely you'd want to be the first one in, but obviously there are a lot of people that were thinking you don't want to be the first one in. You want to be at the tail end. And we've seen that strategy pay off before. So, hey, that was a very fascinating thing, but regardless of what happened during the pit stops, Nicky Martinez out front, clean air on all sides, no other cars on this racetrack in the windshield or in the mirror of the 25 car, and just still pulling away from this entire field. Gained a second on that last lap, and just a stunning performance from the 25 car, even despite the strategy, which I think that she was in the worst strategy you could have possibly chosen there, just after the way that it worked out, still with a massive gap over second place and leading this race.
Absolutely. It's a very good day going for Nicky Martinez in that 25, and she is only 6 laps away now from her maiden win in one-up Nitro National competition. That's going to be huge for them. But Now, make our way through the hairpin once again. Alex Rajip holding off Zachary DeLella. Ryan Griffin's actually starting to pull away from that group, so very nice run from him. Let's see what the gap is at the line between Martinez and Ryan Griffin.
Yeah, we'll see what this is. I think that the more critical gap that we should be watching is between our second and third place drivers, which it looks like it has not changed all that much. So, yeah, I mean, Ryan Griffin's main goal right now in this race is to just maintain that gap ahead of the 3 car. And you know, you can't push this car farther than it can go right now, because it is not worth it. Not a great opportunity to catch a 25. I mean, you're losing a second a lap. So even at this point, you'd have to gain more than a second a lap. You're not going to do that. Nobody has been able to do that today. So you just have to be careful. Don't hit the walls. Maintain second place and bring home that podium finish for the 92.
And talking about great finishes, how about Jeff Bolton Racing? They've got all 3 of their cars in the top 10 now. Shantley Daniel leads the group now in 5th place. Todd Himmler's fallen to 8th. Jack Boswell, on a super undercut, made his way up to 10th doing that. So all 3 of the Jeff Bolton Racing cars in the top 10. I'm sure that's what Jeff wanted to see there.
Yeah, that's absolutely incredible from Jack Boswell. Started in 20th today and has had a great strategy call and is up to 10th. Just that just shows, I mean, imagine how well anybody else would have done pitting at the same time as the 38 car. That was a great call by that team. So 10 position gain in the pits, that's very well deserved, very well earned for the 38, and a solid recovery.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. A couple of our losers on the pit stops. Cody Goforth was running just inside the top 10. He's now back in about 13th, which is still a good day, but could have been a lot better if they had just stuck with their strategy. If they had just pitted him with DeLello, maybe they would have gotten something better. But still a good day, still plenty of points, and they can look forward to Simtail Park next week.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, this is, well, we got a little bit of a lapper ahead of Nicky Martinez. Not that that has impacted the 25 car before in this race, but yeah, this has been a very topsy-turvy race, if you will, right now, and we're watching this 92 car.
He lost 1.3 seconds on that lap.
That is just absolutely absurd. This 25 car is putting down a pace that absolutely nobody can match. I don't even think there's anybody else in this field that is anywhere close to this. I mean, you could look through this whole field, and I don't think that there is any single driver that would be able to even keep up in the clean air with this 25 car. Just so fast, so consistent, no issues today. Even with being on the wrong side of the strategy, has not impacted this car today. So, looking pretty unstoppable right now.
Just imagine the lead she'd have right now if she was on the good strategy. That's even crazier to think. But we're coming up on 2 laps to go, and Nicky Martinez is now 2 laps away from her first career win, and a Grand Slam win it would be if she were able to hold on for just 2 more laps.
Yeah, you're right about that. Grand Slam win. And a well-earned one for Nicky Martinez. And, of course, a well-earned good day for Ryan Griffin, who, if it ends like this, will become our points leader. And, man, this is such a great battle that we have between him and Alex Verjeperub. A couple of cars with orange themes. Very, very fascinating. It doesn't happen all that often with the orange cars. But, hey, we got 2 of them on top of the leaderboard as far as the points go this season. And this is going to be a great battle to continue watching. So if you watch this race today and you're not sure about tuning in to another Nitro National Series race, seriously, this is going to continue this battle for the points. I mean, they're second and third right now in this race. They're going to swap positions. It could happen the reverse next race. It could happen even crazier. One of them might be involved in an accident. Maybe they take each other out. There's so much potential for drama between this battle coming to the end of the regular season. That is going to be something to watch as we see Nicky Martinez way ahead of everybody else, driving underneath that white flag and seeing that it is 1 lap remaining in this dominant race.
Yeah, Ryan Griffin hasn't even crossed the line yet to start. There he goes. Now he lost another 1.2 seconds on that lap. Martinez has put on the afterburners to close out this race, and what a job she's done to deserve this win, too.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like we've been saying this whole time, Nicky Martinez has done every single thing right today, and it really helps that you've got the fastest car on the field. You got the best driver at this track on the field today, leading the way here. Clean air for the whole thing, led every single lap, and I assume including this one. Just an incredible drive from Nicky Martinez.
So, as she runs the hairpin for the final time, she's not going to worry about James Ellison or Cam Stevenson or Aiden Clare ahead of him. Coming through the chicane for the final time, it is going to be Nicky Martinez with a Grand Slam win, her first in Nitro National competition and her first of any kind in 3 years. Martinez gets the win at Trois Rivieres, her first win in the Nitro National Series. An impressive and an incredibly dominating day for Nicky Martinez. Ryan Griffin still hasn't even crossed the line yet. That's how far ahead Martinez was at the end. Let's see what the gap is at the line. 13.7 seconds. Fitting for such a complete and utter domination Martinez put on. Alex Verget-Barube comes home in third, but will lose the championship lead to Ryan Griffin by 4 points. Zachary DeLello, his 7th top 10 of the season, and they're all top 5s as well. Incredible stuff from the 0-3 team. And Shantley Daniel gets his best result since Daytona, coming home 5th. Keon Daly is about 4 seconds off the 41, but he comes home 6th, a solid top 10 from the 52, puts 2 Kings Motorsports cars in the top 10. Henry Thomas comes home 7th, great run for that group. Todd Hemler, what could have been for him, man? He was doing such a good job, but he'll come home 8th, still a good day. Suzuki 9th, and Jack Boswell does bring it home 10th to put all 3 of the Jeff Bolton cars into the top 10. But man, what a race by Nicky Martinez, and honestly, any other result would have been sacrilege at this point.
Yeah. I mean, Nicky Martinez did. I mean, they were even on the wrong side of the strategy, as we noted, and just absolutely drove away 13 and 3/4 seconds ahead of everybody else in the field. That is unthinkable. That is utter domination. Hey, and I'll tell you what, well deserved. The best car on the track won today, and that's all you can say about it. So, yeah, that is a great day for Nicky Martinez, and we've seen all these other cars as well. We saw some great strategy today. It was a very strategic race where the crew chiefs kind of determined the outcome for their drivers. As long as they all kept it on the road and out of the wall, that's how it ended up going. So, a great day for a lot of drivers. Some surprises up in there, and some surprises that fell behind. We had it all.
So from Duke Anzac and for myself as well, we say so long from Quebec. We'll see you again next time at Simtel Park in Wisconsin. A bit of a mini Pocono that track is. It's going to be plenty interesting to watch those guys barrel it off into turn 1 there. It's not quite a short track, but it's not quite an intermediate, but it's going to be a lot of fun, I'm sure. So long from Trois Rivieres. Congratulations to Nicky Martinez, first career win, and boy did she put a whooping on the field to earn this one here today.